Russian invaders are increasingly attacking on motorcycles and using small infantry groups during assault operations. This was reported by the spokesman of the Khortytsia Operational Strategic Group, Major Viktor Tregubov. According to him, in the Khortytsia grouping's operational zone, the invasion forces are actively switching to infantry warfare tactics, employing less and less armored vehicles. The Pokrovsk direction is the most intense now, and that intensity has reached record levels, again. It is comparable to the most active days of the campaign that the Russians unsuccessfully tried to pursue in January-February. Perhaps the tactics have changed a bit, perhaps the scale has changed a bit at some points, because they are increasingly attacking on motorbikes, increasingly employing small infantry groups, but the intensity is really high, Tregubov said. Tregubov added that the tactics and scale of actions of the Russian occupiers have changed. They are increasingly attacking on motorcycles. They are increasingly using small infantry groups, but the intensity is very high, said Tregubov. According to the official, the Lyman, Novopavlivka, and Toretsk axes remain no less intense. The Russians are trying to maintain a large grouping of troops in the Pokrovsk direction. By the summer, the war will have switched to the infantry format, he added. Several combined arms armies have been deployed there since 2023. They have one major strategic goal: to somehow gain control of the town of Pokrovsk. They have been pursuing that goal for 2 years now, and although they see no success, they continue to focus their efforts there. If we are talking about some specifics, we must understand that most likely by the summer the war zone could see more small infantry groups, the spokesman noted. He said that sometimes in certain directions the enemy's actions resemble one large attack that never stops. It actually looks like one big attack that simply doesn't stop. People come and perish, some get blown up, die in batches, but others replace them immediately, coming in on their motorbikes. Meanwhile, Russia shows no preparations for the so-called parade-related truce at the front, he said. In the first 4 months of 2025, the Russian army is advancing more slowly. At the same time, its level of losses remains steadily high. Since the beginning of the year, the troops have suffered 160,000 losses, that is, an average of 99 losses per square kilometer. In April, Ukrainian soldiers recovered a total of 115 positions, and 62 targets on the territory of the Russian Federation were hit by deep strike weapons during the month, and the transition to a core system in the army continues. Fighters of the Primar Special Forces unit of the main intelligence directorate under the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine have targeted military facilities of the occupying Russian army in Crimea. Fighters of the unit used kamikaze drones to destroy the P-18 radar station and its power generator, a Zu-23-2 anti-aircraft gun, a Mi-8 helicopter, an Imbir radar station, 3 Podlyet radar stations, a transport tug, a Nebo radar station and its power generator, and other military equipment. It should be noted that over the past 24 hours, the Ukrainian army also destroyed a Su-30 fighter jet of the occupying Russian army using a surface drone in the Black Sea.
Kremlin dictator Vladimir Putin may choose a new goal on the front, namely the complete capture of the Donetsk region. Military expert and founder of the reactive male charity organization Pavel Narozny spoke about this on Channel 24. According to him, the resources of the aggressor country Russia are already on the verge of exhaustion, so the occupiers will not be able to implement the plan to seize most of the territory of Ukraine. The expert notes that the Russians have almost run out of artillery, weapons and tanks. In addition, industrial production is declining in Russia, particularly in the military-industrial complex. We have practically destroyed their warehouses with armored vehicles and artillery, he emphasized. Despite this, Putin continues to prepare for the summer campaign. This is confirmed by the fact that the number of military clashes on the front is growing daily, and in the Donetsk direction there is an accumulation of forces on the part of the Russian Federation. Russia will probably try to reach Konstantinovka through Toretsk and capture Pokrovsk, and then to Slavyansk and Kramatorsk, Narozny suggested. The enemy's goal during such an operation will primarily be to show that Russia has liberated the entire Donetsk region. However, according to the expert, there is an important nuance. The occupiers will not be able to reach the administrative borders of Donetsk because the Russian army has not been able to capture Chasiv Yar for a year now, and even if the enemy advances, it will take a lot of time. Sometimes Russian soldiers refuse to attack. Chaos is increasing in the army. If we assume that the enemy will have some success and will manage to advance into the Dnipropetrovsk region, which is 5 to 6 kilometers away, then the Russian army will continue to advance. That is, this border is not the final one for them. They will strive to advance further. Military analyst Alexander Musienko said that there are no signs on the front that Russia can achieve significant successes, either at the operational or strategic levels. However, despite this, the aggressor country does not stop trying to advance. According to him, the enemy's goals do not yet have any real military content, but are aimed primarily at an informational effect. The goal is purely propaganda, to try to reach the administrative borders of the Dnipropetrovsk region, all in order to testify that their imaginary victories to try to demoralize us, to weaken the resistance. Musienko said. He added that Russian troops do not have the ability to carry out offensive operations along the entire front line, so they have concentrated their efforts on two specific areas, where they are now actively transferring reserves. We are talking about the Pokrovsk and Limansk directions in the Donetsk region. Based on how forces are concentrated there, these are the enemy's plans for the summer offensive campaign. If there is one, they tried along the rest of the front. They tried the southern, Zaporizhia direction, breakthroughs in columns. They received a powerful rebuff and retreated. Therefore, the main concentration will be in the Pokrovsk direction, and the goal is military propaganda, the expert explained.